YouTube, what is going on, guys? Welcome back. Thank you for cooling with Jay today, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments I've gotten recently on my videos. Like, it's really cool to see y'all interacting with my videos and talking back and forth and talking to me and asking me questions about things. Like I said, guys, I'm happy to answer any question that you may have for me. Obviously, there's always that one or that somebody who just wants to be a dick. Like, regardless of what you do or what you say or what you have, it's always a troll. But anyway, guys, welcome back. There's been some personal stuff going on, so that's why I haven't made a video recently, but I am back. So in today's episode, guys, I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper into why I started on this. I touched on it in I think it was my second vlog video. Obviously, it was me sitting down, but I want to go back deeper into that. Of course, writing on it now, because obviously that was talking from just sitting next to it, not actually writing. So I think I'll make this a part one, part two. I think the first part, I'm gonna talk about some of my experience initially with having the bike and some things I have to overcome, I guess, in the beginning, and how I've how I've progressed into what it is now. Again, guys, don't forget to follow me on social media. Instagram at Coolin, COOLIN_with_JAY. Snapchat at TRJAY206. And Twitter at Coolin with J, one word. Like I said, guys, I'm always on Instagram. I'm always posting pictures of my bike. Like, I'm kind of getting to that whole photography thing. I'm not trying to be no professional or anything, but I do enjoy taking my bike scenic places and then taking pictures of it. I think that's kind of cool. And then going on Photoshop and editing and all that. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Enough of me chatting off the bike. Enough for me to get on the bike. But first, I gotta put my garage door opener in my thing. There we go. Because I gotta close my garage first. I'm telling you, the days when there's navigation on your bike will be so legit. Like, the actual screen be able to admit to you like the location and all that. So yeah, we're gonna just do a little riding and then talk about some things. My recording, I am cool. Alright. Oh, sorry. The other thing I remember was talk softer. So, that's one thing I learned from my last video, because it was my official first bike video, was talking softer. Because the thing is that obviously, even though I know I have a mic in my helmet, my bike is louder than my own voice. So I think I have to talk louder to compensate for that, even though I don't. Alright, guys. So, first off is that I actually made a video last week about me on my bike, okay? I actually made two. The first one I made, there is the little 3M adapter is Velcro to the side of my helmet right now as we speak. Because you have to have the the adapter for the Hero, the GoPro Hero 6, you have to have that to have any kind of mic audio. And I was lifting up my visor with my left hand and I accidentally snapped it off and didn't realize it, and I was wondering why I was getting like a dangling sensation on the side of my helmet and wasn't sure why, and then come to find out, oh, that's what it was. So that's the first one. So I was talking the whole time, made a video, and then realized, oh well, video's gone. And then I made a video recently, that was like a week and a half ago. And then I made a video just recently, and with that video, the little I don't know what to even call it. The little mic adapter thing, I guess, unscrewed itself. And even though I screwed it back in, I guess the audio was like automatically gone. And I'm just cruising, guys. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm gonna have to stop somewhere to figure out where the heck I'm taking y'all. But yeah, it unscrewed itself, and next thing I know, again, I made a video and got home and I was talking to myself again. So I've never had so much issue with freaking audio equipment before in my entire life. Never. And then y'all see that gravel on the road too. But yeah, I've never had this much issue before with audio equipment, and I've been around audio my entire life. Anyway, so that's that conversation. The next thing was, so here we are today. Sorry, I got sidetracked for a second. So getting to my point, so yeah, when I first initially got the bike home and went for the first ride, for those of you who are wondering, yeah, I was a little nervous, I guess you want to call it, or insecure, or whatever we want to call it, I don't know. But I was like, man, I know what I want to do, and I know this is it. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh no, I didn't have any nervousness at all whatsoever. Like the entire time I was completely relaxed. No. In the beginning, I'm more relaxed now than I was the first 3 weeks. Like the first time I took it out to like an empty parking lot. Remember guys, like I said, I haven't rode in, what's it been now? Look at that. I hope y'all can see that on the camera. But yeah, I haven't ridden since I took the test and rode a little bit in Florida. So like my bike experience wasn't that much. So yeah, I was a little nervous at first, but anyway, you know, after the first few weeks, guys, like I was riding it in empty parking lots. That's all I was doing, was riding it around empty parking lots. Obviously it was getting a little hot, but I was riding around empty parking lots, just getting used to being on a bike again. That was the goal, was to get used to being on a bike again. And then from there, it was fun. And of course I've been growing and steadily getting better as I've gone along and progressed. But like I said, at a much slower pace. Which I'm completely fine with, guys. Like I said, I'm in no rush to prove to anybody what I can do. You know, I'm 100% plan on, and will be planning on taking it slow. So that's why I felt like this was the right move for me, because like I said, like at I can't talk right now. At my current age, I feel like I am more prepared to do something like this than I was at 20. And that's what I'm going to explain, because like I said in my first video, I feel like it's more of a mental thing than it is a bike thing. And the reason why I feel that way is because at 20 years old, 100% I've been trying to impress girls, people, ride fast, do all that, right? But at my current age, man, I am trying to take it slow. Like I'm past that age of trying to impress people. And when people always talk about what bike you should start on and why you don't start on a leader bike and all that, I feel like it always comes back to the same three things: power, weight, rider experience, I guess, is the three. And not discrediting any of those, but I feel like a lot of people's opinions, or a lot of people's facts, are based on opinions and not based on facts. And that's my point. And also for those of you who do have a V4, I don't know where in the heck I'm going. So I'm going to turn around soon because I actually have to be somewhere at 11 o'clock. But I figured I'd come make a video real quick. I'll be on my bike. I just chose to go away that I'm not familiar with. But now I get it about riding a bike like through scenic routes. Like it's something else to do it like this. But yeah, like I was saying, they always go back to weight, which weight, of course, obviously, as y'all know, like this is this is the second lightest leader bike out there, which is in the mix with 600s when people talk about weight. Like those are just facts. Its weight is similar to that of a 600. Yes, there are some lighter 600s. Obviously, there's no arguing about a 300, a starter bike. There's no arguing weight there. Yes, higher displacement, but you can bring the power band down. That you can do. Alright, let's turn this puppy around before I get really, really lost out here. And I have it mine in low power mode. So I have it in sport mode, but everything tuned down to low, or everything turned up to high as far as all the aids, and the power band where can I turn around at? Shoals Ferry. I know where I'm at now. I hope. I'm gonna get lost out here. Is there a car behind me? This is what I think it is. This will lead me back to where I need to go. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is where I need to go, is left. So we get lost, guys, we get lost together. Because even though I've lived in Portland for 5 years, I don't like wander out, I guess, that much. Different places. So I'm kind of like, where am I going? Progress Ridge. Okay. I know I'm at now. What was I at? Yeah, let's go back to like weight, power, and all that. So I have it in low power mode. All the stuff cranked up as high as I can go. Because like I think the two highest traction modes aren't allowed because they're designed for a wet tire. Sorry, for a wet tire, not a road tire or a track tire. Oh, now I know where I'm at. Okay. Got it. Yo, for a second there, I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to pull over, pull out my phone, and figure out how to get back. And for those of you who know, when you get lost in the boonies sometimes your GPS ain't gonna work. So you're gonna be up a creek. So, anyway, so that's like mostly a lot of the argument, and what I feel like, and like I said, I am not by any means trying to tell anybody, hey, go out there and buy a leader bike. This is not what this is about. I am not suggesting it. I'm not even recommending it. I'm just saying I'm doing it, and I'm making videos about it. Like one guy was like, I remember one guy said, you're starting a leader bike, and had like the little popcorn thing, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, at the age of 20, I'd be like, heck no. I will tell you this, I don't think, or I would assume, most kids couldn't or shouldn't do it. I'll tell you that. And it isn't the bike, it's the rider. And like that's what kind of what I want to get into, is like I've watched hundreds of bike videos. I know people who've made their channel off of putting what is the best starter bike on, like, and that's gotten hundreds and thousands of views. And I notice a lot of these riders, a lot of them, for the like, I'll say 70% of them, 80% of them are reckless riders. And you know what I'm talking about. They're on the highway doing endo, stoppies, wheelies, all that jazz, right? All that whatnot. Going at 500 miles an hour, not 500 obviously, but they're going at excess speed that they know they shouldn't be doing, right? And then they want to make a video about don't start on a leader bike. Well, let's just pause for a second. So clearly you've made your life or your channel off of you doing reckless crap, and then you want to tell somebody else you shouldn't buy a bike because you're going to be reckless. No, you're saying we shouldn't buy a bike because you were reckless, and you're assuming we don't want to do the same thing. That's the part about this whole, like, if I was to get every moto vlogger in the room and have a conversation about it, that's my starting point. That's my biggest point. And that's just not biking, guys, that's life. So many people, when they give their opinion, it's rooted in their own experience, and that's already flawed from the beginning, because your experience isn't my experience, your thoughts aren't my thoughts, and your way of coming to a conclusion isn't my way. So how can you tell me definitively, if I get this, basically it's a bad decision, because you're basing off of everything that you've been, the people you've been around, your life, your family, how you were raised, so on and so forth. And no two people are the same unless you're twins, and even that's like a twin can tell a twin. That's kind of my point, I guess. The only person who could be telling somebody about themselves is a twin on this entire earth. That's or a parent to a kid, because they raised them. Those are the two things. Everything else, I'm like, dude, what you're saying makes some sense, but it's rooted in a place where it's so much flaws in there. And also, with that being said, the other reason why I feel like you can start on any bike is because there's too many variables. That's my second biggest point. There's way too many variables in the bike world for somebody to definitively say you can't start or shouldn't start on a leader bike because X, right? Because of the power. Or, like, for example, if I go around this curve up here and I don't know, I hit an oil patch, right? And I low slide the bike and scratch it up, and it's destroyed. The first thing ignorant people are going to say is, oh, it's because you had a leader bike. Now, everybody who's ridden a bike knows that gravel and oil are a biker's worst enemy. So in that regard, it doesn't matter what bike you have. If you're not prepared, if you don't know if you don't have smooth throttle control or any of that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter what bike you have. No matter how much traction control or whatever else you have, you are going to go down. We can all agree on that. So we can all agree there are some cases where it's right or error, then the bike isn't the issue, it's the rider. And that's kind of the bulk of my point. It's the rider, not so much as it did the bike. Yeah, the bike plays some factors. I will agree with that, but not as much as people want to say it does. I think is 90, like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but the reason why MotoGP and any rider or anybody who's doing that particular thing at a higher level, whether it's football player, soccer player, Formula 1, is because they've mastered the art of taking the bike to its limits, right? And finding that threshold of between, you know, skill, danger, and all of that, and finding that threshold. That's what I think. That's my opinion, obviously. And I think when people want to take these bikes out and want to push their limit, like on a track, of course, I will agree with that. If we went out to the track right now, right? Me on 1,000, you on your 600, a guy on a 300. Yes, the guy on the 300 is going to probably learn at a faster rate. But disqualifying me, saying I can't learn, or saying I can't learn as fast, is not necessarily the case. Is there a percentage chance? For sure. But that's not an end-all be-all. It's not like 100% guarantee, Thomas, you won't be able to learn. Because we all learn at the different speeds. All of us do. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents, man. As far as like my part 1 about it, like I said, I'll get into more in another video, but I just wanted to make sure I clarified that, because people are in their feelings about it on my channel. And I just wanted to make sure I drove home my points before people start getting up in arms and, you know, about me on this bike. is because this has been my dream bike. I've watched plenty of people channel about them either starting a liter bike or getting up to one or hating it, and no one really had content going through the experience. I want to make my channel around going through the experience, whether good, bad, or ugly. That's what I want to do, to help those out there who are curious or might want to. That's what I want to do, so that's what I'm doing, guys. But yeah, so when I first got the bike and was riding it around, putt-putting, as someone said, like I said, I learned some things real quickly. Like, you know, obviously, one, to respect the bike, obviously, because if you don't, she will bite you. I knew you gonna turn. Knew it. I knew it. But yeah, if you don't respect her, she will bite. In the first few weeks, like I said, I was getting used to it, for sure. But it was understanding that, like, it's driving that point home that it is a motorcycle. There are some massive differences between a 300, 600,000. I'm not arguing those points, but at its core, it's still a motorcycle. They function, turn, lean the same. And understanding, if you take it slow, take it precautious, and not push your limit too fast, there is a chance and a high probability that you will be okay. But like I said, I watch YouTubers all the time on their station, you know, riding around and doing things that are crazy, and people keep talking to me about I'm crazy. I would love to see the statistics on me driving at my putt speed, as someone says, riding around town, doing some cautious leans and going into some twisties at low speeds and just getting used to it, than someone on the freeway doing 180 miles an hour through traffic. Please tell me who's more at risk. And that's my point. People are so quick to throw shade at me and my channel and my bike, but I'm like, there's plenty of people who put themselves at much more risk than me. Because you can't tell me those two are the same. You can't tell me that mine. Why is it a green light and not an arrow? That's just weird to me. But yeah, you can't tell me that I'm at a higher risk for damage and injury than somebody like that. No. There's no way. It's impossible. Because there's plenty, like I said, there's plenty of people putting themselves at more risk on their channel than me just riding around. So that's my thing on that, guys. But yeah, like, I'm getting back used to the bike. It's becoming enjoyable. I will tell you this. Those recalls were no joke. Like, I think there was 6 total right now, and I think a 7th's popping up. The 7th one is the shifter. The quick shifter is the next one, which is crazy, because I'll tell you right here, guys, like, as far as me, what's the word? Like, as far as me feeling like this bike wasn't fun, that sucks the fun out of it. I can't tell you how many times I've been on a freeway or something, or making a turner or something, whatever, and trying to shift up, and it just not having it. It's frustrating. And then my shift lever, for those of you watching who do the V4, mine's been mushy. It's been a super mushy. Like, there was a few times at the light when I was making my last video that I was at the light, right? It had it in second, trying to drop it down into first, like I'm doing right now, but I was stopped. And then I tried to put it into first gear, and it wasn't having it. And for a second, there was a little fear over me, because obviously there's cars behind me and stuff, right? And I'm like, you know, you're gonna shift down for me? You gonna do this or not? So it's had its issues for sure, and no bike was without issue, because I'm sure BMW fans are so excited to hear that. But I've been thankful for it, man. Like, this opportunity to have the bike, to be on it, to take y'all through the experience. I'm immensely grateful and thankful to God for allowing me to do it. That's how I personally feel about that. So I wouldn't go back. If I had to redo it all over again, I wouldn't have jumped on getting so many accessories, because actually I found let's just say I've been getting some hookups. How about that? On some parts. So if any regret I have, it's that I jumped on buying parts for my bike way too soon, and basically now the same parts I want, like for example, I got this what's it call it? I have the front fender from the V4S model, which is definitely a better black than the one on the 1299. But I bought that from Ducati because the carbon fiber one was just way too expensive, and I was like, for 100, like, you know, going from the red one, because I hated it being red. So going from the red to black was like, for me, was like number one out of everything, even out of the fender kit. That was number one for me, was that. So, and, you know, this one was like, I think from Ducati. Don't quote me on this, guys. I think it was like 2 something, and like the carbon fiber one was like 3, and I'm like, just $100 more. I just was like, for just a little bit of aesthetics, I just like, I couldn't justify it, I guess. And now basically, like, I'm in a position to potentially get the other one for a lot less, the carbon fiber one. So I'm just like, oh great, I rushed on that one way too soon. So stuff like that. I wish I would have taken more time into knowing what I wanted, what you know, what I was going to do to the bike, instead of just jumping on like, yep, I need this, and then now later it's like, oh man, could have got this at a better rate, this at a different price, so on and so forth. So, dude, is there nowhere to really pull over? Kind of be lost here in a second. I'm not too hot right now, though. I'll tell you that. Not as hot as I thought I'd be. What's up, man? Yep, it is definitely, guys, getting a little hot. For sure now. But that's what you get, right? You buy Ducati. That's part of it. Part of the sacrifice. But, you know, I can deal with that, I guess. I can't wait till they do make a carbon fiber heat shield for the exhaust. I'm just shocked after all these years of people having issues. I'm still slightly shocked Ducati didn't do something like, I don't know, heat wrap the bottom of the exhaust or something. It's not heat wrap, foil wrap the bottom of the exhaust shield or something. I don't know. It's just, come on, green light. What's funny is, being on a bike, I never thought I would love green lights as much as I do. Like, you're almost so excited for them. Yo, what in the world? Because apparently nobody wants to move. Yo, we're just sitting here. Oh, I'm here. And look, guys, almost at 500 miles. Almost time for my service. So service light should be coming on soon. It's crazy. If I want to put 400 miles on it. Ew, what in the world? Like, this light is really this long. Like, for real, for real. Like, we were here for like 5 minutes. What on earth is possibly happening? Ooh, she's a hot one now, though. She is a hot one now. I'm basically riding with my legs open now. And she is not happy with me. This putt-puttness. That's a cool little bike. I don't know if I want one, but they look kind of cool. I think if whew. Thank you for all the support y'all given me so far. Like, I really appreciate it, for all the positiveness, man. I appreciate y'all kind of living vicariously through me, right? Because like I said, the more y'all watch, the more y'all like, the more you subscribe, the more stuff I'm able to do. Like, you know, if I'm able to get people to, you know, like this exhaust thing with no channel startup yet, like imagine what I would have. You know what I'm saying, if I did have more views or subscribers and all that. So just imagine the possibilities that could happen for this channel and, you know, for stuff y'all could see. So, but I do greatly appreciate it, what's been done thus far. Because yeah, I would definitely love to do this even 60% of my time, but right now it's 0, obviously, because, well, it's not making me any income. So like I said, guys, if you want, see right there, drop to the neutral, and I mashed it. But yeah, guys, if you want, again, follow me on social media and Snapchat. I'm more on Snapchat and well, heavily Instagram, and Snapchat second. And Twitter, I'm on it just, you know, for y'all can talk to me or whatever. Like I said, man, any questions that y'all got about the bike, gear, or whatever, I might make a video. Or better yet, how about this? Y'all tell me what y'all want me to talk about, okay? Is there a topic y'all want me to talk about? In the comments down below, put your topic you want me to talk about, right? And then from there, we'll kind of figure out what type of things y'all want me to talk about. Like, when I ride, what interests you to know about? Okay, here we go. So, when I ride around, right, do you want me to A, talk about the bike, B, about the gear, C, experiences, D, would be like me riding around like twisties, like me taking the bike somewhere where I know where to go already, me taking the bike through some twisties. That was D. D is taking the bike through some twisties, which means not talking. D is twisties, and y'all can say on there talk or not talk, or like twisties and like music. Do you want me to talk to the twisties, or just like music or no music? Like, what do y'all want to see? Because I know, you know, everybody's different. Everybody watches for different things. I feel like no one wants to watch a 30-minute video of me riding around through some twisty scenic routes with maybe some cool music in the back, because I'm not going at fast pace. So I'm like, do they really want to see that? But if y'all want to see that, I can do that. Or just twisties and just talk. But obviously, concentrating, right? I'm not going to be doing a lot of like hand motions and all this, so I'm going to be very cautious on how I talk, obviously. So y'all let me know. Second gear is still like wanky. Sorry guys, I just like, I know y'all felt that, like I smashed it in the gear and it just like it did not want to go in the second gear still. But yeah guys, let me know, man, what do y'all want to see? Because I'm enjoying the bike, but obviously I want y'all to get something out of it. So like I said, man, the question book is open. Whatever y'all want me to talk about, leave it down. I'll compile the questions together and then make a video out of it. That's kind of my thought process on it. My plan was to go up to some twisties eventually, like my version of twisties. And trust me, it's not going to be your version of me knee dragging. So it's just going through twisty, just practicing on, you know, throttle, lean in, all that kind of whatnot. So y'all let me know. Because I do want to do one more, obviously, on this whole what liter bike or bike to start on, all that kind of jazz, and then go from there. But yep, guys, I will see y'all later.